What made your ex the crazy ex? Please like and subscribe. Thank you. She broke up with me for a week to have sex with a guy that was visiting because she loved me too much to cheat on me. She thought if she dumped me it would be okay as long as we got back together. Edit. No, I didn't get back with her. She wanted to stay friends and still tries to hit me up every 8-9 months. She is engaged now though, so I think I'm free. It makes sense in a world where emotions are binary. Damn it. About 3 years ago my girlfriend was headed to a friend's house to hang out. Me being naive as shit about this friend, didn't think anything of it. Fast forward to about 10 PM. I'm just hanging out at the house and I get a call from her. Oh cool, she must be home, I exclaim, only to be greeted by the raunchiest sexual talk between her and another guy I've ever heard. She doesn't even say stuff like this to me and we've been dating for over a year at this point. Despite my blood boiling, I continue to listen as she tells this guy what she's going to do, how much she will enjoy it, and then the shenanigans start. I have all of the evidence I need and call her back about 15 minutes later. Of course she picks up all nonchalant and cheerful, unbeknownst that I've just heard how much of a cheating twat basket she is. I casually ask about how things have been going and then drop the bomb that she pocket called me. She starts to sound a little nervous and just kinda goes oh, yeah, unsure of what exactly I heard. In hindsight I would have been more creative or witty about it, but I basically flip my stuff, dump her over the phone and just walk out of my house for a few miles to cool down. I don't know why I got that call, whether it be the stars aligning, Odin, or Raptor Jesus saying bro or what, but yes, I've gotten a pocket call, and it sucked butt. That random guy ended up being her ex-boyfriend also, found that out around a year after that. The time I woke up in the middle of the night to find her straddling me, naked, so far so good, right, with an open buck knife raised high above her head. When I said what the duck, her eyes kind of unclouded and she murmured, I'm sorry, I thought you were a burglar, a naked, sleeping burglar. Also, we were at my place. Scariest thing, I really believe she wasn't angry at me or anything, just crazy as a stuffed house rat. The saddest ones are where they aren't angry, just a little lost in their mind and insanity. When she stopped all communication with me out of the blue one day and then after about 2 months, she called me and said, for $20 you can do anything you want with me. That's when she became crazy. Edit. This is getting more attention than I thought it would, so I'll clarify, I didn't actually do anything with her. I made a counteroffer for $5. I think she was offended. I haven't talked to her since then, and you missed a golden opportunity to have your house painted. Broke into my car and put a dead animal under the driver's seat. It was a really weird move for a vegan. Look at it this way, it's probably one of the most offensive things your ex could think of. The fact that she stalked me at my work for years, even after she was married. Her useless husband would drive her and sit out in the car with her. I moved 600 miles away. I still keep an eye out just in case. That is so tucked up. Come back and make love to my wife. Probably the moment she Skyped me specifically to cut her arms on screen because she knew it upset me. I had an ex do this, telling me that it's all my fault, and I made him do it because we were fighting. He pretended he was dying. Twice. The second time, I messaged his friend on FB, got his number and gave him a call. My ex was at his best friend's house watching a movie. Meanwhile, he was texting me from the hospital bed saying how I caused him to be on his deathbed when I broke up with him. I never let him know that I knew he was lying. Then things escalated to him threatening to key my car. His friends publicly wrote on FB about how I needed to be stabbed. Then it was about slashing my tires. Pretty harsh threats when you consider that I dumped him after finding out he cheated 6 times. Reasons for cheating? I'm writing a dating book. I need perspective. Let me add that during the entire year we were dating, I only know that his first and last name are real. He created a totally different life only around me. Anything you can think of was a lie. Family, friends, interests, school, jobs, etc. I never knew this person at all. I'm writing a dating book. I need perspective. For the sake of art. He lied about having skin cancer in an attempt to win me back. I only found out it was a lie because shortly after being diagnosed he went tanning. Babe, I really wanna have a tan when people see me in the casket. Nah. We got into an argument when I wanted to break up, so he punched a gate, wiped his blood on me, and said, "It's on your hands now." In my defense, I was trying to be symbolic. The gate represented the barriers in our relationship. The lesson here is to stop dating Disney villains. No one hates like Gaston. Punches gates like Gaston. No one cries about you to his mates like Gaston. He yelled at me for hours because he thought I was flirting with the bartender. Screamed and cried at me to get me to admit to imaginary offenses. Beat himself up. Accused me of ducking my friend's husband. Tried to strangle me. And about 1,000 other things. Threatened suicide because my character on Sims 3 was dating some computer-generated neighbor. Edit. I am genuinely surprised by the response to my crazy ex, seeing as how many of the others posted here are 1,000 times more bat stuff insane. Thank you all. This one made me laugh. All the other ones made me scared. When she parked her car in the middle of the street and tried to abduct my kids from their school, getting into an actual fight with school security, forcing my kids into her car, and driving to her apartment where she parked sideways, on the grass, on the adjacent complex front lawn, refusing to open the door when the cops showed up only to fight 3 cops when they finally got in the house, resulting in her arrest on 5 felony counts and a breathalyzer reading of .41. The crazy part was when she could not fathom why the courts decided I was the best choice for permanent custody. Claims to have no recollection of the incident, nor the time she showed up to court to face the charges and was arrested for falsifying documents and disorderly conduct for being drunk at the hearing. Has no idea why my daughters want nothing to do with her. Of course she doesn't remember. With that alcohol reading, my god, she must have been trying to scrape the clouds off of the bottom of her glass with her tongue. Girl number 3, the beatings. Girl number 2, the cheating. Girl number 1, the stabbing. Moral of the story, I pick winners. Edit. People asked for some details. Here are some brief bits. Girl number 1, fiery redhead, real powder keg, short fuse, big kaboom. I dumped her for breaking a pretty big promise to me. She came over to my house to do the post-breakup apology thing. I don't take people back, as a rule, so I said number. She flipped her shit and attacked me. I dragged her out of the house and locked the door. She jumped my fence, circled around, and came in through the sliding glass door and attacked me again. Girl number 2, together for 8 years, engaged, were picking out kids' names. She went on vacation with some mutual friends, came back with a new boyfriend, stole a bunch of my stuff, baby photos, my diploma, wedding rings, etc. and moved out. Girl number 3, nice deaf girl. Her father was super abusive when she was little. Her ex-boyfriends were right scumbags, abusive as all get out. I wasn't. I didn't fight, hit, get angry, so she filled the role of the abuser herself several times over. That bitch is my fault. I should have left and stayed gone after the first time. Took a few more to beat some sense into me. Maybe the 4th one will just shoot you and get it over with quickly. Not my ex, but a friend of mine. They dated for a little while. She was always getting outrageously upset over little stuff, and finally my buddy goes over to her house to talk with her and tell her they are breaking up. He did it at her house while her parents were home on purpose in an attempt to minimize the freakout. Anyway, she doesn't take the news very well, screams and cries and causes this huge scene. So much in fact that she screams my buddy right out of the house and he is just trying to get into his car and go home now. Her parents are restraining her while he attempts a getaway, but she gets free and picks up a rock and throws it at his car, breaking the window. The best part of the story is that from then on, everyone called her Geodude. It's been like 6 years since they broke up and most of my friends still call her that, and it's still funny every time. Geodude uses rock throw. It's not very effective. Sounds like it was pretty effective against the window. Glass types are not very good at defense. A chick I was dating very briefly did this to me a week after we broke up. We'd been dating maybe, 6 weeks at most. And her first voicemail in this post-breakup phone bomb was, "Hey, haven't heard from you in a few days. Getting worried. Call and let me know you're okay." A week after I told her, "Not only are we through, I never want to see or hear from you again, ever." And when I didn't answer that call, proceeds to light up my phone for hours. The next day, one call, "Hey, still haven't heard from you. I dropped my daughter off with a friend and drove by your house but you weren't home. So I'm really getting worried." I called her back after that one, reiterated that I never wanted to hear from her again, told her the next time she rings me or texts me I will call the cops. Harassment. Thought that was the end of it. Then my best friend, who I hadn't had a chance to talk to about this, invites me to meet his first girlfriend after his really crazy, off the hook divorce from his own crazy ex. And it's my crazy ex. She found someone I knew who was on the market and started dating him, and then kept pressuring him to invite me to hang out with them. Dude didn't break up with her, so I had to avoid him for most of the next entire year. Astrodogo needs your help. Like and subscribe so he can get home. He already thinks you're a great human. See you soon.